This is the other end of the undercliff yard, which was on the old layout. It's a little bit longer on this east end that we're standing at because I have more length here. I have more length and less width in this building. So I have probably about the same square feet, but different shape.
It's longer, right?
So it's longer
Definitely
here
longer, yes.
From where you're standing with the camera up to our right is where the length is increased about 4 to 5 feet length. So it's changed a little bit. This, for example, was around the corner. This Ford plant
was
around
the
corner,
well.
yes, and so that's one of the changes that.
Where's that factory now? Out of business or still?
It was on Red Bank Road. You know Red Bank.
Yeah, like 5 minutes from my office.
You know where Swallens used to be?
I heard about it, but not.
Well, it's right behind Swallens.
I see.
Yeah, it's all gone. Everything.
Yeah, it's almost.
The fellow was working for me. Had a familiarity. His father worked there, and lived up here, and drove over there every day.
Wow.
And he used to take him to work, and he said, "Oh, you got to put some smokestacks." He's telling me all the things I got to do. So I'm going to write all this down because I'm not going to be able to do it exactly, but I can get good ideas. Okay, this is the different. It's really the same scene I had on the other layout, but different geometry. So the run that you're photographing now was about 20 feet long on the old railroad, but here I don't have the width, so it curves. So we have the same scene, but it's not on a straightaway. And also we have an overhead double deck, which we'll get back to. But this staging yard back here will be partly hidden with backdrop about, I think it'll come across something like this, and in front of that.
I see.
And
some electronics, like Alex.
yeah, Jerry Alber's
that Jerry
signaling
Alber's
system,
signaling
yeah.
system. Okay.
Because Jerry's in my work group and Terry Luganbuehl left, so I had nobody that knew a signaling system that well that I could get a hold of on a regular basis. So Jerry sells it.
I told Jerry I probably step in finally because, yeah, really want to do it. So, what's this now?
Now this is Milford, Ohio, which
Yes.
was on the old layout. Again, there will be a backdrop right behind it. The backdrop's here on the floor, which is from the old layout, just that piece for the river that backs up this river scene.
Yeah, looks
And then
like-
I'll just have to fit in, new backdrop on either side because I only have that 4 or 5 foot section.
Cool.
Then we go, here's a difference. Here we go around into a helix. And the helix goes round, and this is the ugliest helix in the world.
But it's
works.
yours and it's working.
It works.
That's it, man.
We had such a good plan, and as we built it, it got uglier and uglier, but we kept it so that it works. The trains don't derail. The locomotives can climb the grade. It's even the weather has not caused it to deform and cause trouble. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 turns. And ends up right here. This is the top of the helix.
I see.
Now the helix is it's the end of the helix, but the helix, the grade continues on down and around behind it. We'll go back to that, and it ends up here, which is actually exposed main line. And this is the far eastern portion, almost the end of the visible east part of the railroad. Okay, so then it goes over to staging behind us there. But there is a second layer coming off that helix.
I see. And where are we going now?
Well, in the back, this is staging. This is east staging. And it'll be somewhat hidden with a piece of backdrop. And then this is the main line coming off the helix. It goes around the basement or the room one more time and ends up. This is actually, if you want, this is the last part of the helix. Only it's not in a circle. It's in a long oval. It goes all the way down to
I
the garage
see.
door.
Okay.
And then this is the actual top, and this will be basically hidden with some backdrop, just for scenery purposes, but we need to take it away so you can, you know, because there'll be a lot of traffic here. We have a lot of maintenance concerns
Right,
to worry
right.
about.
Something going on. Yeah, you need the access definitely. Okay.
So that'd be the end of the railroad on the east end up there.
John just told me about that, how you call it, like ladder helper, you know. Yeah, guys, if you have like layout size like this, you know, you definitely need it. Or layout kind of bone, you know, dog bone shape. You just cannot get like far away and a lot of stuff. So this is the guy who will help.
I just had this idea that there was room for another town if I went underneath the helix. And I have the town on the upper level, but I thought I can fit a town on the lower level. So I put a branch line, it's just a stub end branch line that goes to Loveland, Ohio. The idea was that one time it was a second main line that went on up through the farmlands and so forth, but now today it stops up right by the little depot or up here. And I have 2 or 3 industries, Bartesic Plastic, and then I have a lumber company, which is the barn type styling here, which from my hometown there was a lumber company exactly like that I used for
Nice.
a feed grain. And then this is there's a fellow on the internet that built this complex, and I don't know what I don't know what it was on his railroad, but I liked it so well I tried to duplicate it. A Canadian fella,
Canadian, huh?
and he won some NMRA points with it. So it's about 90% done. I still have to fit it in, but I call it foy paint because there was a foy paint in Cincinnati back in my era that was over in that direction. And
Cool.
so it's a paint factory for me.
Nice.
And then the track coming in is comes under here. That comes off of there's a helix going up, and then I also built a 2-turn helix going down.
And so
Because
that's
this is the end of that, and then it just goes up there to the backdrop there.
we in Loveland, right here.
And Bartesic Plastics is named for one of my my group, Bob Bartesic, who has a tremendously nice railroad. He's done, anybody that does work, I try to find an industry name, and Bob and Jim Rawledge spent a few weeks doing some difficult work for me, so.